Okay, one of my favorite subjects, the psychology of testing. Okay, so again, this is the last part of this first phase of the foundation of the fundamentals of testing, this foundation level. So let's move on. Right, software development includes software testing, involves human beings. Therefore, human psychology has important effects on software testing. A quote from ISTQB Foundation level. Yeah, definitely. The software doesn't design itself, doesn't run itself, doesn't create itself. There's human behind creating it, and the psychology of the people involved on it has a big take and big effect of the product result. You have to identify the psychological factors that influence the success of the software testing, of the testing. It can be difficult to accept negative feedback on a project, particularly if it's collected during the dynamic testing or when you're working on the requirement review with the team, during this story refinement session. This is when the team get together and everybody expresses its opinion about what we're going to work on. When a product is evaluated statically, it can be challenging to accept that it has defect. So remember we were saying about static testing. You go through the analysis and you question things and you look for ambiguous words. Like I like to have in my belt, some words that I normally look for, like, in the document, like always, every, no, never, or certainly, clearly, therefore, obviously, good, fast, small, tip, sometimes. All these things for me, like it's a red flag, and it's like, you sure about these? Can you explain a little bit more? Because these are ambiguous. And, in these static testing, these are the things that I look for. Yeah, so the human psychic has a tendency to accept facts. And I say that in quotes. As many times opinions can be disguised, masked as facts. And that confirms previously held beliefs. There's something on the psychology they call a confirmation bias, and that has a huge play in these as well as in everything else. So, for example, developers tend to believe their code is error free. It makes it difficult for them to accept that it's wrong. Because it works in my machine. The classical phrase. No offense, developers. I work with you guys. In addition to confirmation bias, other cognitive biases may make it difficult for people to comprehend or accept facts generated by testing. The bad news is common in test results, so that's part of the job, and it's natural for people to be, to blame the messenger. So confirmation bias, I like this drawing. It kind of, illustrates quite well. It's quite interesting to explain these what we believe and what we evaluate when we're dealing with a piece of information. There's one of the principles I like to follow as well. I mentioned in my book, who do you listen to, and that has a big part and big play on the success or the fall of an expert. Given these confirmation bias by the psychology point of view, and we can't escape these. This is part of the human beings. We can't escape from it. So you just have to bear that in mind every time you working with humans, with people. So on the left hand side, there's facts and evidence and what the fact says. But we growing up, we are formed by our beliefs. Our life is formed by our beliefs. Our whole life we have beliefs imprinted on our subconscious mind. and it's part of who I became. This is part of who I am. And then I have things that that confirms my beliefs. Okay, and then when you are confronted with information, okay, I accept what you're saying, but I still believe that's not true. Okay, which is good. It's important. You just have to find out you just have to find a way to balance it. Okay, and understand this and have this in mind, not just about yourself, but when you work with a team. No one can develop everything by itself. It's always a team effort, and we are part of the solution, not part of the problem. I always say that to my team and the people I work with. I want to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. And once I understand myself and understand this, I can understand others as well, why others behave in the way they behave, and to respond negatively or positively, with pessimism, or skepticism, or confrontational, or maybe victimism. That can help understanding that. So once you understand these, you'll be really, really, really helpful for your career, not just in work. I would say this is useful for friendships, relationships, for kids. If you have kids, I have kids of my own as well, so it can help immensely with this. Anyway, enough of this. And I said I like this subject. Moving on. Okay, so how to mitigate these? In the syllabus is recommended below. Try to reduce these perceptions. Information about defects and failures should be communicated in a constructive way. This way, tensions between the testers and the analysts, product owners, designers, and developers can be reduced. This applies during both static and dynamic testing. Static when you're testing the documentation, and dynamic when you're pressing buttons. Testers and test managers need to have good interpersonal skills to be able to communicate effectively about defects, failures, test results, test progress, and risks, and to build positive relationships with colleagues. And ways to communicate well included the following example. Here I put it here. How to how to mitigate this. Start with collaboration rather than battles. Remind everyone of the common goal of better quality system. Emphasize the benefits of testing. For example, for the authors, defect information can help them improve their work products and their skills. For the organization level, defects found and fixed during testing will save time and money and reduce overall risk of the product quality. Communicate test results and other finds in a neutral and fact-focused way without criticize the person. Don't go personal. It's not. Don't go there. Write objective and factual defects reports and review findings. Try to understand how the other person feels and the reason they may react negatively to the information. Confirm that the other person has understood what has been said and vice versa. Okay, this is I always in meetings I always say ask dummy questions. I say that I play dumb because sometimes you ask a question, it can be useful not just for yourself, but they can be used for somebody else, because some people are more introverted and that they be like, oh, I'm not sure if I ask this question, or you find yourself like sometimes the others after the meeting they come and says, oh, Roger, what did you understood about this and that, because I wasn't sure, I did not want to ask in the meeting, and what do you think? And I kind of encourage people to actually say that in the meeting. Don't make yourself fool. Don't worry about it. I think it's important that will bring up a wider understanding. And even if people repeat themselves, it can help even for the person who explained it to explain in a different way and explore other possibilities. Or maybe they realize, oh, I didn't think about this bit or that bit. And like I said, you can be helping other people as well when you ask questions. So sometimes I know the answer, but I know it's going to help somebody else. and I do that quite often. People who work with me know that. Some people never realize, but yeah. And one of the things I like to do as well when I'm recruiting people, and like I said, this is the part I like the most, is that when I'm asking questions, I don't focus intensively on the technical skills. I focus more on the soft skills, because I want to know about this part. How people will be interact with others, because the skills you can train people. Skills is, you can get trained on it, but the soft skills is it's something that you brought up with. It's part of your beliefs, and that is much more harder to change. I have my own beliefs, of course. I have where I've grown up and how my influences were, and I'm always like absorbing knowledge to see if I can improve this constantly, and in throughout my life for everything, and that can be immensely helpful in a team, definitely. And testers can help that with the quality. Yeah. Okay, so maybe this image is not like 100% positive, fixed mindset, growth mindset. It doesn't mean one is tester, one is developer. Okay, that works for both testers and developers as well, or everybody else in the team, really. Like I said, quality is for everyone. Testers and developers mindset, difference between the mindset required for test activities and the mindset required for development activities. I mean, it's mostly down to the objectivities. What are the objectives? Then this is the thing that you have to focus on. So the testers' objectives are to verify and validate the product, finding defects prior to release, and so on. I mean, there's a big text around this, but I think takeout is mainly this. Okay, and the developer's mindset objectives is to design and build a product as per specification, and that's it. Nothing more than that. Okay, so if you use this as a principle with whenever you discuss or talk about these, if you have these two in mind, the test objectives is to verify, validate the product, and find defects prior to a release, and so on. And developers is to design and build a product. So we can both work together, one build, one check, one build, one check. That's all you need to know. That's it. Sorry, ISTQB, but yes, I think that the takeout about this is that's what it is about. Okay. Yeah, and that concludes. This is the quickest one, the psychology, and that's the end of the first part. It's a long one, I know. There's another 5 parts to go. And this is what you learned so far on this first part. So what is testing? Why test is necessary? 7 testing principles, test process, the psychology of testing. And again, I show this image again, and I'm going to show this again quite often. And part of my principles in life is to, absorb the knowledge, but trust the process. Absorb the knowledge and trust the process, and so on. And then you get the result that you need. So watch these videos. Like I said, taken in bite size, in chunks. So 20 minutes, you do. Go for a walk, go for a glass of water, come back, and carry on. If you don't understand something, watch it again until you know and you understand, and you will become second nature. And that's it. So that's my conclusion. End of the section 1. There's gonna be some quiz that you can follow and you can try out. I highly recommend, because that again can help you think about what you have been listening to. And if you have any questions, any comments, please get in touch. I've got this exclusive group for testers that you can get there, and you can ask questions, and then myself and others can answer your questions. And again, whatever you are now watching this video, just subscribe and give the thumbs up, the like, and share, because I know this can be useful not just for you, but you might know someone who can benefit from these videos. So if you think of someone who can benefit this video, share this video with them, and let's help build up a good quality products out there. Thank you. My name is Rogério da Silva, and I'm out. See you in the next phase. Bye.